So today we're going to make a scale to use to start to understand the balance of weight so we can see what is heavier and what is lighter and what is the same. So to make your scale from home, you're going to use some household items that you probably already have. So you're going to need a hanger of some sort. Wire hangers work really well. Otherwise you want something that has some type of hook or divot in it just to hold your string in place. You're going to need some sort of string or twine or yarn. Anything works. Even gift wrap ribbon. You're going to need a hole punch, and if you don't have a hole punch at home, that's okay. You can use scissors. You can have an adult help you cut with an X-Acto knife, or even a household knife would work. You are going to need a pair of scissors. And then you're going to need 2 small plastic containers of some sort. I'm using just some plastic cups that I have, but you could use any small plastic container would work. Okay, and you want them to be the same. That's the trick. They have to be identical so that they weigh the same amount and they're the same size. So to get started, the first thing you're going to want to do is take your hole punch, or if you have an adult who has an X-Acto knife or a knife, and you're going to want to punch holes on each side of your plastic container. So you want to do your best to eyeball where that's going to be on both sides. So I'm going to do my best, and I'm going to punch a hole on one side, and then I'm going to do the same thing directly across from it. So I'm going to just do my best eyeballing here, and I'm going to punch another hole. All right, and then I'm going to do the same thing with my other container. I want them to be pretty similar. They don't have to be exactly the same because we are just comparing weights. We're not, weighing anything by the pound or the gram. So I'm going to do a hole on each side here, my best eyeball job, and there we go. So I've got holes on each side of my plastic containers. And then I'm going to get my string. Now with the string, it's going to be hanging over the bottom of your hanger. So you want to make sure that you have an even side, the same length on each side. So I'm just going to fold this in half. That's about maybe a little bit longer than I want it to hang. I can do it a little bit shorter. So I'm going to want it to hang off about that far. So maybe 8 or 9 inches. You could do a little bit longer. And then I'm going to cut that off. And then I'm going to do the exact same thing. I want to measure the same length of string for the other side of my scale. So I'm going to measure that, and I'm going to cut it so that they are the same length. There we go. All right, once I'm done with my string and my scissors and my hole punch, I can put those aside. And now I'm going to be stringing my string into my cups. So on each of the holes of my cups, I'm just going to tie a knot. If you wanted to tape this, you could tape it as well to make it a little bit stronger, but just a double knot should work just fine. And I'm gonna do it on one side, and then I'm not gonna do it on the other side just yet if I'm stringing through my hanger. So if I'm gonna go through my hanger to the other side, I'm not gonna tie it just yet. But if your hanger has little divots in the top or these little hooks on the bottom, you could tie the string onto the other side. And I have the little hooks, so I am going to go ahead and tie my string to the other side of my cup. There we go. It's just like stringing a needle, maybe a little bit easier. I'm just going to double knot that there as well. And I'm going to do this 2 times because I want one for each of my plastic containers, or in my case, plastic cups. All right, so I've got my cups tied, my string tied onto my cups, and I'm going to do the same thing on this side. And I'm going to do my very best to do it just as similarly as I did the last one so that they are fairly identical. We can always adjust it, and I will show you how to do that. So I'm going to double knot it there. And again, I want these to be almost identical. So I'm going to do my best job at making sure that they are fairly close. And again, this isn't going to be an exact science. We're using this to compare weights, so we're going to do our best job that we can, okay? All right, so once I have strung this through on both sides, I'm going to tie knots, and then I get to hang it off of my hanger. So now I've got both sides. I'm going to put them on my hanger using my little hooks. I'm going to hang that there, and then I'm going to hang this on the other side, and I want them to be fairly similar, and those are pretty darn close. So to test it, what I want to do is hang it like on a doorknob. That would be the best place, or somewhere where they can hang off and you can see how close they are. If you find that one is extremely longer than the others, lopsided, you can always adjust the string by tying the knot a little bit lower. But now that I can see my cups are pretty darn close, and now I can start weighing items and see what is heavier, what is lighter. All right, so that's what you're going to be using for your math this week. Have fun making this on your own and have fun comparing weights.